There's a lot of good news on the horizon when looking at the midterms and beyond. There are a lot of really great MAGA candidates running in this election. Most of them are going to win, as long as there aren't shenanigans. And even if there are shenanigans, I want you to still keep your eyes on the bright side, because we're ready for them this time. Democrats have no one coming up in the ranks. There is no one new to replace Pelosi and Biden and all the others as they prepare to be put out to pasture where they belong. In Pennsylvania, there were quite a few people who questioned Donald Trump's endorsement of Dr. Oz for Senate. But it seems like he knew who could get the job done, because now the two are tied in the polls, each at 46%, with the rest undecided. The Democrat Party is in shambles. For example, Fetterman granted Biden a small public appearance, but couldn't get out of the door fast enough when a reporter asked him about it. Take a look at this.
Mr. Fetterman, why did you decide to appear with Biden now? Why did you decide to appear together now? Sir, why don't more candidates want to be seen in public with you, like Mr. Fetterman?
Wear a suit. Where did you buy that?
Oh, gosh. Yikes. I'm sorry, I hadn't seen that. Two men who are entirely unfit to run for office but won't admit it to the public, who already know it. Let's bring in former Missouri State Senator John Loudon. He also happens by chance to be my husband, but he's the best political mind I know. And Jason Meister was a Trump 2020 advisory board member, along with me. John, I want to go to you first. The MAGA movement took a little while to warm up to Dr. Oz, but he is turning out to be a great candidate against Fetterman, isn't he?
He sure is. And, you know, when you're a household name like that, it's you don't have to spend a lot of money building the name. You just have to spend the money branding it, and he's done that. He's been out there. He's the guy. He's full on MAGA on his views, and it's a contrast between full on MAGA and full on nutcase with his opponent.
Yes. Socialist
So
with the brain damage. Yes, exactly.
Socialist nutcase.
Yes. All right. Jason, I want to talk about another race in Pennsylvania where there's amazing MAGA candidate running. That's the governor's race, though polls have Democratic gubernatorial candidate and Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro up by almost 10 points over Republican State Senator Doug Mastriano. Jason, the establishment GOP is still opposing Mastriano, and if they would get behind him, he could win this, couldn't he?
There's no question that Doug Mastriano can win this race. And I think that it's a broader picture that the establishment just doesn't understand, that Donald Trump has renovated the Republican Party. And speaking about a real estate developer, I think it's actually his greatest renovation that he's ever undertaken. And I think you're going to see that play out in the midterms. You're going to see these MAGA candidates are going to win, and these rhino Republicans are going to lose. They're not going to be a part of the party going forward. And I think the establishment really needs to understand that. I saw that a lot of the establishment has been pumping up those establishment candidates because they don't understand that this party has been renovated.
But Jason, do they really want to win? The establishment Republicans, do they really care? I mean, I really have to ask that question at this point, because it seems to me there are so many that are so absolutely numb to the idea of winning that you just, at a certain point, their actions speak a lot louder than their words.
No, there's no question. They don't understand what it takes to win. The MAGA candidates do. I mean, we're 18 days out from one of the most historic midterm elections in our country's history. If we don't win the House and the Senate, I think this country is goodbye. And so I think that we have to understand that what are the stakes here, right? We have inflation levels that we have not seen since the 1970s. Americans are paying more at the grocery store. They're paying more at the gas tank. Crime is skyrocketing in every major Democrat-run city. Fentanyl is pouring over our border. We have a humanitarian crisis of biblical proportions at our southern border, and we're on the verge of nuclear war. So we're going to take back the House, we're going to take back the Senate, and we're going to take back this country from these tyrannical fascists.